Author Laura Hillenbrand wrote the highly anticipated, award-winning novel Unbroken, based on the real-life events of Louis Zamperini. The novel was turned into a movie and directed by world-renowned actress Angelina Jolie on December 24, 2014. The novel captures the struggle, pain, and abuse Louis Zamperini went through from his early childhood years to the time he spent as a prisoner of war. At a very young age, the Zamperini family packed their bags, left Italy, and headed for the United States. Once arrived, they settled in a small town of Torrance, California. There was when Louis first started to endure his first forms of abuse from the neighborhood boys. They would call him derogatory names, kick and push him to the ground, trying to break his spirit. However, Louis never let them see him break. When he was pushed down, he got back up. When they would punch and hit him, he stood there and took the blows. Louis never gave in to the tormenting. However, people were angered by young Louis. The police were at his door numerous amounts of times, leaving his older brother Pete to translate for his Italian-speaking mother Louisa. When Louis' father Anthony would find out, Louis endured abuse from him as well. Poor Louis had no future for him at the rate he was going, until he was caught hiding underneath the bleachers by the track and field coach. When he confronted Louis, he broke out into a mad sprint to try and break free. From that moment on, Pete made it his mission to help his little brother go down the correct path, and that was through running. Louis won every single running competition. He brought fame and fortune to the small town he grew up in. People who grew up with Louis were now worshiping him, and his town called him the Torrance Tornado. A few short years after his 21st birthday, Louis qualified for the Olympics. He was going to run the 5,000 meter. Despite not placing first, he had the fastest final lap of all time, running 400 meters in 56 seconds flat. That record would hold for nearly 35 years. Running was Louis' saving grace. It allowed him to develop a sense of pride, determination, and courage. A few short months after his return home from the Olympics, Louis enlisted in the army. He was going to be a bomber raider for the fighter jets. Although Louis did everything in his power to not be enlisted in the army, it was inevitable. All men had to fight, including his brother Pete, who was stationed in San Diego as a Marine captain. Louis trained for several months before being deployed to Hawaii. There, he and his crew boarded the Superman, which was what they called their plane. Louis' good friend Phil was the leading captain on the plane. Louis had a sharp eye. Every time they needed a bomb to hit something, Louis would hit it dead on. Even miles away from home, the praise people gave him for his hard work continued on. The next time Louis and his crew were deployed, they were headed towards southern Japan. Louis wrote his mother a letter before boarding the plane. Little did they both know that it was going to be the last time either of them would hear from each other for the next 3 years. Louis' plane crashed in the middle of the ocean, leaving him, Phil, and another crew member, Mac, stranded for nearly 50 days. Unfortunately, Mac did not make it out alive and ended up dying. Phil and Louis, however, were captured by the Japanese and spent the next 2 years held captive. Despite Louis' hard exterior, the prison camp he stayed at, he met the man that would break his spirit. This man was known as the Bird. He was a cruel, cynical man who did everything in his power to break Louis and everything he had. Every day, Louis endured beating, hard labor, and limited daily supplies. It was the Bird's motivation to make Louis' last days on Earth a living nightmare. Despite Louis moving to different camps throughout the years, the Bird came with him. The day finally came where everyone, including the Japanese soldiers, thought the Bird was going to finally break Louis. After hauling coal in the blistering sun for hours with a broken leg, the Bird ordered Louis to lift a piece of metal over his head, and if he dropped it, he would be shot. 57 long, hard minutes went by, but Louis refused to drop it. It was in that moment when Louis and the Bird made eye contact that the Bird knew Louis was never going to break. The Bird envied that he would never be the strong, courageous, and overall well-rounded person Louis was. That made him snap. The Bird went up to Louis, kicked and punched him until he tired himself out. That left Louis unconscious for 3 days in a scorching heat. When he woke up, he returned to the cabin with his fellow captives. Days passed and the war was dying down. That meant Japan had lost. Japanese soldiers forced their captives into the water, where they all would be shot and killed. Some men began to cry because they knew that they did everything they could to survive, but this would be the end for them. However, as if on cue, an American fighter jet flew over the men, signaling that they would be rescued. the men were finally saved. Louis said he felt such a sense of relief that he nearly collapsed. Louis was finally allowed to return home and see his family after nearly 3 years of being away. The first person he ran to was his mother. She knew that all this time, despite the rumors about Louis' death, that her son was indeed alive. Pete had aged because of Louis' missing, but never lost his faith in his brother. The family was finally complete, and everyone was home and safe. When Louis returned home, he married his love at first sight, Cynthia, and they had 2 children. The first few years after his return, Louis suffered with PTSD and had a severe alcohol addiction. Cynthia tried everything she could to break Louis of his addiction, but it was not until Louis heard a preacher that he bereaved his alcoholism and PTSD. Louis became a motivational speaker and helped other soldiers by sharing his story. He also turned his whole life to God. After 2 years of practicing forgiveness, Louis returned to Japan to speak to the men who held him captive for 2 years. He forgave all of them, but when he asked to speak to the bird, he refused, envious that Louis was the man the bird wished he could have been. The use of the theories is extremely evident throughout the film. To explain, Unbroken connects to the Marxist theory through the roles of the proletariats and bourgeoisies. The bird and the other Japanese soldiers take the role of the bourgeoisies over the captured soldiers who play the role of the proletariats. The bourgeoisies have complete power over the working soldiers. They force them to clean, put on entertaining shows for them, and work in extreme conditions to ensure that they benefit in some way. The captured soldiers, however, do not benefit in any way because they have to obey the commands given to avoid any form of punishment that they could possibly endure, such as being beaten or having their limited food supplies taken away. The movie also connects to the psychoanalytical theory as well through the use of individuation. Louis developed a sense of individuation after everything he overcame, all the obstacles he had to face, such as being lost at sea, missing his family for 2 years, and more. And dealing with the people that he met, such as his Japanese captives, he still managed to come out on top. He took his life experiences and used them for a positive. He became a stronger, motivational, and inspiration to many people. The clip that I chose to break down was the one where the bird forced Louis to hold a steel bar over his head. For 57 long minutes, Louis held this bar over his head and did not break. That set the bird off, and Louis was beaten until he was unconscious. In the clip, you can see at the beginning, Louis makes very little eye contact with the bird, because past times when he looked the bird in the eye, he was bleeding. The use of camera angles draws the audience to the pain Louis Zamperini himself endured. At one point, you can see the shadow of Louis holding a beam over his head and how it represents how Christ was on the cross, suffering an immense amount of pains. The camera angles are a mix of close-up shots and distant shots. The close-up shots capture the emotion and pain in Louis' face, as well as the amazement and jealousy in the bird's face. The other soldiers who are standing by watching can be seen feeling some emotions such as guilt and pain, and also despair for Louis. The distant shots help capture the overall surrounding and stillness of the environment the men are in. It makes the audience feel as if time is standing still as Louis is holding the beam. The use of costume also helps enhance the clip. Louis was never given new clothes for the time he spent at his camp. He wore the same shirt and pants every day. The viewer sees how the pants are dirty and ripped due to being worn all the time, and how Louis' top is not on because of the heat that they are in. However, the uniform the bird is wearing shows the power and control he has over everyone. He has stars on his uniform and carries around a stick, showing superiority over the other soldiers. Another code used in the clip is Louis' ring that his mother gave him. Louis' relationship with his mother was very strong, and the ring was his tie to her. That's what helped him get through his hard time. Also, the ring can be symbolized as the connection to the relationship that the bird and his parents never had, and that's why the bird envied Louis so much. He wished that he could have been the man Louis was because he knew that's what his parents wanted from him.